Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I'm Sarah, this is No BS Beauty. So I've just got some controversy to talk about today. Actually, I'm more curious your thoughts about all of it. So these are controversial topics in skincare, and once I started blogging about vlogging or whatever I do, I'm not an influencer, I'm a reviewer. Anyway, once I started talking more and more about skincare, the more I realized that so many things are controversial, which I never thought would, I just always assumed science would answer everything, and science does have an answer for almost everything, and then it's interpretations that kind of take things differently. So these are just some controversial topics in skincare. Let me know your thoughts on it. Maybe some of these, most people are aligned with the one side or the other. I don't know, but there's always a few people that think of things a little differently, and I love to hear from you guys about that. So the first topic I want to talk about, actually I've been meaning to do a video about this for a while, is fungal acne. And fungal acne really isn't really acne per se, it's more of a fungus. And it's more of a fungus, and it gets sometimes on people's skin. So a lot of times when people suffer from breakouts for long periods of time without really being able to change anything and make anything work, changing routines, changing products, and it doesn't work, you still suffer the breakouts, seeing a dermatologist maybe, things like that. Fungal acne sometimes is something worth considering or thinking about, and it's more of like a condition where you get not for a long period of time, but it can happen sometimes in damp environments and things like that, and it's more of like a fungus on your skin, and your skin doesn't heal well, and it kind of looks like breakouts, but it's not really acne per se, and it's more of a fungus. And sadly, there's really not a lot of real great treatments even today for fungal acne, if you believe it exists. Some people don't, but I mean, still to this day, for some people that have fungal acne, they're still using the Nizoral shampoo, which is a dandruff shampoo, which is made to treat fungus, which some companies believe that the fungus is the root of dandruff, and if we treat that fungus, that gets rid of the dandruff, and using these medicated shampoos that attack fungus help the skin. So a lot of people use this medicated shampoo, and they use it like as a face mask and leave it on for a couple minutes and then rinse it off, and it seems to help. Searching through ingredient lists is also very helpful, because there's certain ingredients that are more likely to cause fungal acne. I guess there's not really a better word for it, really. So some people can use those. There's a brand called Malaysia, and they have products that are searched and created with fungal acne in mind, so they don't contain any fungal acne ingredients, and they've got moisturizer and benzoyl peroxide, things like that. So it's still something that really isn't thought of often. It's mentioned, I think more people in the skincare kind of industry, or skincare addicts like us, are more prone to know about it than the average person. They would probably just assume it's acne and not even know where to go with it. So fungal acne is pretty controversial, because a lot of people they don't necessarily believe it exists, and the name in and of itself is misleading in a lot of ways. So, and then an interesting thing with fungal acne is you avoid a lot of occlusive ingredients, things that seal in too much moisture. Humidity and moisture are not fun for people that are prone to fungal acne, because it kind of creates that environment. Fungus, bacteria, all that stuff grows in wet, hot, warm environments, and there you go. Occlusives kind of seal everything, making it very damp and making it easier for it to grow. So fungal acne is something that's pretty controversial even still to this day. So I'll leave your thoughts about that one below. Another interesting one is steam. I always assumed steam, great for your skin. So I had a facial steamer that I had, and I would use occasionally on my own. And some people say the steam is great because it helps with getting out certain, like decongesting the skin, things like that. What do they call it? Extractions. So steam, actually, the more and more people learn about it, it's not actually that great for a lot of people, especially people that are prone to rosacea and eczema. Steam can really irritate it, and suddenly it makes sense. I had this steamer, I used it, I eventually gave it to my dad for something totally unrelated to skincare. It helped his sinuses and things like that, the steam. Nothing to do with skincare for him, but I gave it to him. But my skin would get red, dry, and flaky after I used the steam, and I didn't really think about it why so much. I assumed, when I got a facial done, they used a steamer, and nowadays a lot of estheticians don't use steam in their facials. Some of them probably still do. It feels nice, especially like in Minnesota when it's 0 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 30 Fahrenheit. Moisture steam, it all feels so good, but in the long run, it can be really drying and more irritating for skin. So I think for certain things like extractions or decongesting the pores and things like that, done by an esthetician, steam might be a good thing. But in general, for a lot of people, especially with dry, rosacea, eczema, sensitive, prone skin, steam might not be the best thing ever. So a lot of people don't really use it as much. So so I used it for a little bit. I didn't really feel like it helped better than using a good salicylic acid serum. I just found better luck with salicylic acid than trying to do extractions in the steam. It felt good. I mean, I'm assuming if you live, I don't know, in the tropics, steam on a facial is not going to feel so great because it's already hot and humid outside. Another one that's controversial, a little bit less, but still people talk about all the time. Parabens, preservatives. Are parabens bad for you? Are parabens dangerous? Are other preservatives such as phthalates, are they good for you? Are they dangerous? And there's really two clear groups of thought on it. People that don't like these preservatives, and then people that trust the preservatives and will use product with preservatives. And this kind of topic really bred an entire category of skincare that really hadn't existed before, natural and organic skincare, which doesn't use a lot of preservatives. There's a lot of brands there that don't use certain preservatives because they think they're irritating or worse, can be dangerous. And, we've seen some of these brands have issues with mold growing in their products. So are preservatives great? I don't know, but would you rather put something on your skin that's moldy or something that has preservative that's not moldy? And I think some of it may come into sensitive skin types. Maybe certain people's skin doesn't play well with this preservative or that preservative, but we're eliminating a lot of other preservatives that have been demonized, making them not acceptable to use. And now there's not a lot of other preservatives that they put in its place. Phenoxyethanol is probably the most common one used now. And I think science is kind of going back and saying, maybe some of these preservatives that we thought were the worst thing ever, they might not be so bad. And they're less irritating than other preservatives we're using, which can be really irritating. So, excuse me. I get all worked up talking about preservatives and parabens, but I think it's a personal choice. That's why I'm curious what your thoughts are, because I'm sure there's some of you. I love parabens. Throw them in there. There's some probably like, I don't want these in my products. I don't trust them, so it's interesting. There's definitely two hard schools of thought, and there's not a lot of people right in the middle. So that's always interesting to me. Another interesting topic, celebrity skincare brands. Do people use these still? Are they still coming out with great regularity? I would say it's slowed down a little bit. Nowadays, you see a lot of celebrities with their brands. But I think this year, I didn't notice as much as I had the couple of years beforehand. I mean, what do we have? Jessica Alba, Gwen Stefani, Jennifer Lopez now. I mean, almost every celebrity, Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber's wife, who I don't know for anything, but she has her own skincare brand. I guess she's a celebrity. I don't really know anything else about her. I haven't tried their products, but maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe if there's a good Black Friday sale, I will. But I didn't notice it so much this year. And when I look at my countertop of products, and there's a ton. Let me see if I can. I mean, it's out of control. Oops. See, then I start knocking stuff over. That's why I don't move things. But, come on. There we go. Okay. Back on me. Okay. I can't think of any of these. I don't think any of these brands are celebrity brands that I can think of. I'm really looking. I don't think any of these brands on my countertop are celebrity brands. I do have some that I've tried. Core Organics, Josie Maran. Maybe that's probably the closest to a celebrity brand I have on my countertop is a Josie Maran product. And she was a model. Although she's much better known. I never heard of her when she was a model. I'd never heard of her until she started skincare. So anything else on here? I don't think there's anything else that's a celebrity brand on here. I think that might be the only one. So are people still buying them? I'm curious. Are you guys looking forward to them? I think I think they kind of reached their level. For a while it was perfume. Every celebrity has to have their own signature fragrance. And then it was everyone's got to get into skincare. I swear, at least every day I hear of 3 to 4 skincare brands I'd never heard of in my entire life. Every day. That means there's probably millions of skincare brands out there, which is crazy. I mean, how many people are in the world? I guess there's several billion people in the world, so I guess there's a brand for everybody. So I kind of consider that kind of a controversial subject because for a while people were really pumping them up, getting them excited for it, and now I think it's kind of dwindled down, and products either stand the test of time because they're great and people love them, or they fade with celebrity stardom fades. You know, nobody's famous forever. What's that? Banksy he's an artist. He said, in the future, everyone will have 15 minutes of anonymity. I kind of like that because nowadays with social media and everything, nobody's anonymous anymore. And then 2 more little things. Medical grade skincare. Is there such thing as medical grade skincare? That kind of overlaps. People seem to think of brands such as like SkinCeuticals or SkinMedica. They think of it as medical grade skincare. But it's interesting when you look at who owns the brands that are medical grade skincare. SkinCeuticals is owned by L'Oreal. I mean, so right there, what's the real difference? The price tag? Some of them being sold in at estheticians and dermatologists' office. Is La Roche-Posay, is that a medical grade brand? I see a lot of estheticians and dermatologists carrying that brand. Or Aven. It's interesting. What is the real difference? You know what? When it comes down to it, when it comes down to what I think about skincare, judge it by the ingredients. Don't buy it because of a price tag or a name or a marketing thing. Look at the ingredients and how it works for your skin. Otherwise, it really, I mean, if you want to use CeraVe and it works for you, go for it. You know what I mean? Everything will work good for somebody. There's a product for everybody. So I don't necessarily think that medical grade necessarily means better, but maybe more unique products, sometimes more research behind them, things like that. And then last but not least, I love this topic, natural fragrance versus perfume. So this is an organic product. This has natural fragrance in it. And here's something that's full of just perfume or fragrance. What's the difference? You know what? It really doesn't matter if it's an essential oil. Just because it's natural, it doesn't necessarily mean it's good for your skin. And then we think about everything as a chemical. Water, H2O, it's a chemical. So there really is no difference. Fragrance is fragrance. If it irritates your skin, don't use it. Perhaps certain scents don't bother you. For me, my skin gets irritated by fragrant products a lot. My nose and my head, in terms of migraines, gets much more sensitive. So I could probably put something on my skin for 3 or 4 days that had a heavy perfume on it and not have a problem. My head might say something else. But my skin eventually, at some point, within a few days, will start to get irritated, dry, and flaky because it's just sensitive to it. So, but it doesn't matter if it's natural or if it's made in a lab. So at least that's my take on it. So anyway, so I'm curious all of your thoughts on all of these topics because they're all controversial for a reason. Everyone's got a different opinion, and that's why I love the topic of skincare. I like hearing different points of view and how people get to an opinion that they have. I love hearing about how they come to this conclusion. Is it from testing something? Is it from reading something? Is it from someone else's experience? Things like that. So kind of brilliant. So okay, leave a comment with your thoughts below, and I will see you more tomorrow with some reviews. Okay, thanks so much. Bye, guys.